God. Whoa. Oh, I guess we're starting now. Excuse me, folks. I was pinching off an Andrew and wiping my new wind. It's been a busy morning. Here we go again in the thought process of how credit games and credit scams and credit claims will work. Before we get into this, I'll make this very clear. Andrew made a video this morning not responding to one fucking thing that I said yesterday, which I expected he's not going to, because his excuse is going to be if I do that, I give him notoriety, it's going to make him popular, I won't even say his name. Perfectly fine. I got you, Andrew. I know how it works. I have to say that this started off again with your clients that you screwed over going over to Everything Credit with David Payne. I think another thing that's bothersome too is you talk about how this morning that you have people in the military that you help. If you do that, I do think that's a great thing. I hope I don't ever find out you gave a discount, because that would be completely against what you just said yesterday about discounts and companies and men that believe in their product. So let's hope we don't find that out. However, my sister in uniform, when I say my sister, I don't mean that in a reference of being a racist. I mean my sister in uniform just the same as my brother in uniform, so calm down, little Andrew. The reality is my sister in uniform is at a operating base. Military does not own real estate, everybody. Once again, Andrew spewing shit from his mouth that he knows nothing about. We have what's called sovereign nation operations. We operate on the sovereignty of our nation, directed with the operations of that country, if not engaged in a theater campaign of war. So therefore, there's APOs, AFOs, APFOs. That's the mail that gets sent across. So when you're talking about how far it is from New York to California, it's not that far, buddy. It's a 4-hour flight. It's less than a 2-day drive. It's a 2.5-day drive for freight. I mean, it doesn't matter. I got friends in Fort Drum right above you there that know exactly where you're at, and it's not far. Nothing's far from where you're at. I'm just making a point that you had such a drastic point of making that initiative mail. Now, does David Payne operate with mail to the credit services? He does. He sends them certified, so there's proof that it gets there, because that's covering one aspect. Just the same as he has software like most people do in the credit industry that do repair or do management, whatever you want to call it. It's just a formality of a word, let's say. So you go back around and you say, on top of that, I don't do mail, like Lexington Law. Same, the founder that you supposedly know that you learned from or worked for or have the aspect or have a rated book from what he taught. Regardless, it doesn't matter. The idea is to cover all your bases, whether it's mail, software, direct calls. David Payne does all of it, all aspects. It doesn't make him the mailman. It doesn't make him the Pony Express. It means that he's covering his ass for the best intent for his client. All aspects are covered. He's covering his ass. He's covering their ass. Legally, he's set. I'll tell you what's fucked up. But I broke this fucking thing today. You guys ever have these in your house? Like lemon squeezers? Fucking broke that off. You know why? Because it's made in India. Like the software of all your information that you give to Pinnacle Credit goes into his software, which is not his software. He didn't fucking create it. He paid for it like most of them do. It goes to India. So would you rather have your stuff domestic or go overseas into countries that are doing the work for you? I don't know. I'll let Andrew explain that one, because he showed it a couple times on his computer every time he goes to his laptop. Now back to my sister over there on the base. Since you wouldn't respond back to the boxing challenge, which is perfectly fine, I'm going to take that money, Andrew, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing I did to Mikey Randell, and man, did it fuck him silly. I'm going to take out an ad with your company on it, why not to use it, versus all the reasons that you showed on your YouTube channel of why you shouldn't use you. Anyone should invest in you, and why you should use Everything Credit. I think I'll give a couple testimonies from your clients that are actually in there. They could talk about exactly how you treated them on the phone when they try to get their returns. It's quite sad, because you have so much potential in so many ways. I figured at one point in the beginning of this, we could have all been friends, so we could have had some understanding. There've been maybe like 4, maybe 6 returns you would have done to these people that you don't. There's even a video of you in a bathtub. Again, you in a bathtub. I can't figure this out, why you was like a wet cat. Talking about how, bro, he asked for a refund. I mean, you paid me the money. I did the work. I'm not giving the money back. Okay, that's part of the aspect of it. You haven't shown a contract. You have a pricing grid, but it doesn't make much sense either. So going back to the mail thing, yes, a lot of credit repair companies send by mail. Why? Because step one, they take and affect your Social Security, they run it. And when they do run it, they try to find out with credit repair where the derogatories are and challenge them. 2, they try to find areas where there's credit missing from. 3, by the FTC standards and by the federal government, and also localities of your state, licensing board of how they operate to make these claims or go to challenge them, there's requirements that have to be met. If they follow by those guidelines with the other two things I mentioned, the credit repair starts. So now we have an issue of 84 derogatories that were removed from this lady's, or I should say this fellow military member's credit history. But it doesn't make sense because you talk about how fast you are and how quick you get these things done. I'm not sure we're talking about women or credit now. Either way, whatever your claims may be, the point to it would be is that if you work so fast, why did you have to say you've been working with this individual for a long time? You said it twice. You've been in the game a long time on this with her. So go back to David Payne in December, first time client, 3 weeks, 73 derogatories removed. It goes back to my original video. It's a 50-50 chance. Not everybody's credit's going to be the same. Don't assume that because he got 84 derogatories moved off to someone's credit report, okay, that's all good. Here's another thing. Scripted phone calls, scripted videos to support who you are. Everybody does it. Andrew's not the first one to do it. The reality is, I'm going to call a client. I'm going to say, this is what I got going on. Will you give a testimonial? There's always tit for tat. Most likely, if someone's credit jumps that high, it's because they have a trade line. So Andrew offers trade lines also. Now, did he give her one by discount or he just give her one to bump it up? I don't know. I'm not saying any different. I'm not saying the fact is that he didn't do all the right things I said, and it turned out 84 came off within 3 months, 6 months, whatever. They can happen fast, they can happen slow. But his claim is to his company is he's the fastest, most reputable, the best in the business. But he's not. It's not even him. He didn't write the software. He purchased it, just like everybody else does. Now, there's certain ones you can get what you pay for, like you said, right? You get what you pay for. If you pay for a higher end on it and you do the right one, it's domestic and it never leaves out to bots. It doesn't live out to the Philippines or anywhere else where people are working $2.03 on the dollar, whatever you want to call it, and handing out your personal information to people who are going to go use the black market and sell your Social Security because it happened. That's how Mike Rando got popped. We spent a whole year and a half going after him because the stupid things he would say, the same videos that you're making. Like if I didn't know any better, Andrew, I would think that you're literally Mike's son or you're his brother. And going to the personal part of this thing, the personal attacks, the bullshit of David lives in a double wide, he owns 2 properties in Florida and they're houses. You live in a manufactured tower. It's a loft. That's what exactly it is. You live in a high-rise loft. I could do the same thing right here in Orange County. $3,600 they would cost me. Does it make sense? I don't know. I guess if you really want it, I don't care. But you got to remember something. All the way you show your whole pattern, your whole place, because you can't stay in one place, okay, with the Adderall kicking in, you're just walking around in circles. If you got Buddha on the wall, remember, the reality is you get back what you project out into the universe. So it's coming at you. Let me tell you that. And I will take out that campaign in the Army times and the Marine times because I have the right to do so. I'm a military member. I'm going to explain exactly what you do wrong, and I'm going to put all that credit to going to good old Dave. And it won't be just you. There's about 4, 5, 6 other people on that list too that they should not use. Maybe you'll run a discount. Get some people. We'll see. And remember, this is just the tip. The way you like it, Andrew. Just the tip. There's more to come.